Okay, so we'll start the activity today with either you printing off the owl template, or I'll show you how to simply draw the outline of the owl. We'll start with a large letter U if you're going to just draw your owl. Then we'll make the ears by bringing them in kind of like a letter A on both sides, and then connect the top. All right, so this will be your owl template. You can cut this out and we'll get started. All right, so I already cut out my owl template. I'm going to take it up towards the top of my blue construction paper. So for my owl, I chose brown. In the example I showed you a minute ago, the owl was gray. You can choose whatever color you would like. So when I use my glue, I don't want to glue the whole thing. I want to take my glue and kind of go around the outside, kind of like I was drawing again, just by doing this. And then across the middle, I can make a letter X. And now I flip it over. I'm going to glue it toward the top of my paper because underneath we'll have the branch, and you can cut out a different shade of brown for your branch. I'm going to glue it on to the bottom of my paper like this. So I'll go around the outside and glue that on. Now, if you take a little piece of paper, scrap brown, you can make a branch. The branch can go off of the page like this. So you can put the glue on and then put your branch attached to the tree. All right, before we get started on the owl, we'll go ahead and finish our branch. You can make leaves on a little scrap of green paper simply by making a point where you want them to end, a little dot. We'll make 3 of them, and we'll go around kind of like a frown or a football shape like this, and we'll make 3 of them. All right, so kind of like a frown and a smile or a football shape. You'll cut those out. After you cut those out, you'll have 3 leaves. You can draw the lines for the veins on them. You can use a crayon to do this or a pencil. All right. Then we'll go back to what we had a minute ago, and we'll attach the leaves onto our branch. Put just a little bit of glue here and there. And all right, so now we have a branch with some leaves on it. Okay, to begin the owl, we're going to remember that we have the owl's face at the top. So what I did was I had some little paper like this, and I made a folded it in half, and I made a small triangle at the bottom like this, and I cut those out, and those will become the ears, part of the ears. And I rub them on my glue stick so I don't get extra glue on my pretty paper. I don't want all the extra glue on my owl. I just want what I need to make my paper stick. All right, next, I took scraps again, and I drew some owl wings. So I just went up, and I made a big circle shape or a frown shape at the top. You could start with a rainbow and then go pointed down like this for his wings. So on the second one, I'll just do that. I will start with the rainbow. Sometimes the rainbow shape's easiest, and then make it come down kind of like an ice cream cone. If you think of it like that. You can also start with the letter V and then put the rainbow up on top. There's all different ways to help you draw. All right, when I was done, I had 2 owl wings. So I can see where I want those to go. All right, but I'm not going to glue them on just yet. I'm just going to think about my picture. Next, I took a lid and I made some circles for my owl. I made them in 2 colors because we're going to talk about a pattern also. So I have dark brown circles and I have light brown circles. And I think that will help you see those. All right, so again, we're going to leave space at the top for his face. I'll show you the picture again. We want to leave space up here for his eyes. We'll go down below a little bit. We'll begin by putting on a little bit of glue. We're going to start on one edge. And again, make sure you leave room for the eyes. So we'll go dark circle. Next, we'll go the light circle. All right, then the dark circle again. And this will be an A-B pattern or a 1-2 pattern. That means there are 2 different colors. Start with one color, change to the next color, and repeat the pattern. So we'll go across, and hopefully it'll turn out like we like. All right, so again, the A-B pattern in math will be dark brown, light brown, dark brown, light brown, dark brown, and that would continue throughout the piece. All right, so now on the second row, we want it to not be exactly the same. So now I'm going to start with the light brown, then the dark brown. So I will go on the one we just did just a little bit. So a light brown, then the dark brown, then the light brown, A-B pattern all the way across, just like in math. Okay. A lot of times I combine letters, numbers, math. We talk about all the different things that we can combine in art because all of those things are important in school, not only in the classroom, but also in our art class. All right, so the second line is now complete. Okay, so again, now we'll go back to start with the dark brown. All right, and this time we probably won't need as many circles because our shape of our owl is coming in. So dark brown, then the light brown, then the dark brown, and the light brown. Okay. All right, and then at the end, you can just decide how you want it to look. You can do the pattern again to finish them up. It looks like it'll take about 3 of these. So I'll glue those on. Kind of finish up the bottom round part of the owl. All right, so now we have the owl's feathers. We'll go ahead and add the owl's wings now to our picture. All right, now to make it extra fancy, you can do another part of the wing by making a smaller wing shape with a different color. You can also add some lines on it like this and cut on those lines and kind of bend those up so it adds some interesting features, kind of separating it. And you'll add that to the owl's wing. All right. Okay, next we have the owl's eyes, which we already traced around. If you make these up in advance, it really helps. I make several circles, then I can just, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and then I can just use them whenever I need them. So now that you got the hang of how to make those circles, if you do it in advance, when we do projects like this, like maybe around Christmas, we might make a reindeer, you will have all the parts you need already ready in a Ziploc baggie. You might make a red nose for Rudolph and just store it, and when we make a reindeer, you will have it ready. All right, so here's our owl. Now he's missing his beak. All right, so the folded paper we had earlier that we cut the triangles off for the inside parts of the ear. Now we're going to make our triangle again, but this time we're going to have the opening at the bottom like this, the closed part here, so the folded part here. We're going to make a large letter V for his beak. And as you can see, it opens like this with the point going down towards the opening. And keep your paper folded, cut on the line, and put glue on the back of the beak on the one side. Put it right under his eyes, and we have a cute little owl. The last little part, you need to make feet for him. So what I do is I take the paper again that's folded, and I make 3 circle shapes together like that. Okay, and I cut around it. Don't cut it all the way out. That will be his little feet. All right. I'm going to trace that on to my brown piece of paper right here. So we see those little toes. All right. Now we can glue that on. Use your glue stick, rub it on, put it at the bottom of your owl, rub it on, put it at the bottom of your owl. All right, last thing we can do with a brown marker or a black marker, we can make this look like the tree limb by just making some lines across here and there. We can do it going up our branch also, just add some details. All right, and there it is, our finished owl. I hope you had fun. See you next time.